I think we just need to write games off whenever we play Coventry, because we seem to draw, lose, draw, lose, draw, lose, and then we've just drawn and lost again. Never able to beat them. I had done a video much earlier outside the ground in the immediate aftermath of the game, but to be honest, I wanted to re-record. I wanted to do another one to try and be a bit more composed, because to be honest, I was losing my cool quite a lot, and I know some of the people will actually find that really funny, and I wouldn't blame them. But yeah, for me the title still stands, though. I think the players have got to be ashamed of themselves today. I think the way that we just capitulated wasn't good enough, and I don't want to hear this about, oh, they're young players, they're young this, that or the other. Right, you don't need to be an older player to know to defend properly. You don't need to be an older player, or you shouldn't need to be, to know to be able to, you know, stop a cross or to track a runner or everything. And at the end of the day, that just wasn't good enough from Sunderland. Now, the thing is, in the first half of the game, I thought it was relatively even, but I didn't think either team was particularly good. The chance of the game came from Abdullah Bar, when one of our players, it might have been Jack Clark, I could be wrong on that. Jack Clark takes the shot, the keeper spills it right into the path of Bar, and then he somehow contrives to miss it, which is basically an open goal. And I don't mind Abdullah Bar, but even I admit I don't think he's good enough to be starting games, unfortunately. And in some ways that set the tone, because Coventry obviously then had a couple of chances of their own. We had one where I think we might have cleared off the line, but it just goes to prove Coventry show the right amount of aggression and the right amount of intensity and the willingness to be able to defend. And it's that sort of attitude defensively that I want to be seeing from Sunderland. I want to be seeing that from us on a much more regular basis. And this predates even Tony Mowbray getting dismissed. But yeah, I mean, the first goal, from what I can remember, was absolutely appalling, and it was a dreadful time to concede right before half-time. And then the second, as soon as the second one in, it was basically game over, wasn't it? And it shouldn't be like that at home. To be fair, if I'm going to be fair to the players, though, at home we have been better than what we were last season. But no, I think the way we capitulated just wasn't acceptable. Now, Michael Beale, I've already said my piece on Michael Beale. I think if you're going back and watch the live stream, if you can bother to sit through me for 45 minutes, then, you know, I've made the opinions known on Beale that I didn't think it was the most inspiring, but while he's here, you've got to get behind him. But at the end of the day, like, you know, he was far too reactive. He waited until the game was basically dead in order to bring on, in order to bring any changes and any subs on. And, you know, I think there's a few more things that, look, if Christian Speakman was the one who appointed Michael Beale, then criticism of Speakman is absolutely valid and fair. I still believe too much blame gets given to him exclusively without giving blame to KLD. But, you know, at the end of the day, and the striker issue is one that's gone on for a long time now on the pitch, but it doesn't. But I'm getting quite sick of that excusing or overshadowing the state of the defending of some of the goals we've conceded. Off the top of my head, I can think of the goals against Leicester, Norwich, Birmingham, the second one at Plymouth, the 2 goals against Huddersfield, Millwall, Bristol City last week, all 3 goals today. That's just 12 goals off the top of my head that I can think of that were very avoidable ones in terms of giving them away. And we didn't have to give them away. That's the annoying thing. But, and if you're not going to be able to defend properly, you're not going to have the foundation, then you're going to find it very difficult to win games. Because, and yes, this is another criticism, that we don't finish our chances, and therefore, because you're not keeping clean sheets and you're not being solid defensively, you then are putting so much damn pressure on people going forward to finish chances off. And so you've got to be able to balance both sides of the game, not just ones going forward. But going forward definitely still is an issue, absolutely. And off the pitch, I think KLD's got to start facing a lot of criticism, and I've said this repeatedly, that I think KLD, my criticism for him more comes to off the pitch stuff. Like, we look at the way the Newcastle thing was handled. I've already said my piece on that, but I think it was a joke. And Michael Beale, getting back onto the pitch, I think Michael Beale is someone who, you know, I'm someone who wants to get behind him because he's the Sunderland head coach at the end of the day, but I'll tell you what, there was a number of people around me in the stadium that were what's the one I'm looking for? Almost venomous towards Michael Beale, and a lot of people has probably heard singing Tony Mowbray's song. You make your own mind up whether that was right or not. Just because if Michael Beale doesn't end up working out for me, that doesn't automatically mean the decision to get rid of Tony Mowbray was the wrong one. It's just that we haven't replaced him well enough, should Beale prove to be a failure. Look, this isn't much of a coherent video, but this is definitely more coherent than the last one I recorded earlier, and I needed to calm down because I was really livid. I was extremely livid after the game. The final thing I'll say is, for me, the actual truth of the matter is, you can point towards Speakman and say whatever you want about him, and he has made mistakes, but at the end of the day, you've got to start looking above him. KLD's the one who employs him, KLD's the one who's above him, KLD's the one who calls the shots, he's the majority shareholder. At some point, he's got to start facing more criticism than Speakman, in my opinion. And it's not me being up Speakman's backside, and if you think that, that's up to you. But I personally think I'm not, because I've been able to criticise him when it's necessary. But yeah, let's just say January's massive for the season. And last thing I'll say for the players though, don't down tools like that again, please, because we will not forgive it if you do, especially on January the 6th, regardless of Newcastle's superior quality. Anyway guys, look, Merry Christmas to everybody who's put up with this video, because it's a difficult time of year for a lot of people, including myself, as you know, because I lost my mother around about Christmas 17 years ago. But fair play to everyone who's watching, and I'm trying to get a 5k subs, as you know. So if you're not a regular subscriber and you're watching this video, then hit the like button and subscribe. That would mean a lot. And as long as you're respectful in the comments, feel free to tell me what you want. Vent if you wish, because I think it deserves it after today.